Welcome back to the Community Christian podcast. We have Randy Rowland on here today. We have not had you on here.
We have not.
But he does a ton. In fact, would you just explain a little bit of your role here at Community Christian and what you do?
Sure. I've been with Community since 2017. Done a variety of different roles. Right now, I am currently the Ministry System Catalyst. So that deals with a lot of the ministry systems at both campuses, both internally and especially with Be Rich, externally, the serving that we're doing out in the community.
Yeah. So a lot of the ministry stuff is helping people connect on teams, right? We have all these teams that make services and ministry happen during the week, and you're helping really connect people as they go, man, I have a heart to serve. Okay, what are you gifted at? And then again, this outreach piece we're going to talk about, Be Rich here for a minute, is a big piece of what has not fallen to you, but you've taken on the last few years for us. And it's been a real blessing to work with you on this. It starts off for me a little stressful. He's like, I got it. And you're working and getting the thing organized. And then as we begin to meet, as it gets closer and you're like, hey, here's the potential projects. Here's our opportunities to give. Here's the opportunity to serve. It just seems, it's really cool how it comes together and all the work that you do. And when you finally sit down with me, we're like, oh yeah, this is what fits who we are this year. And so there are seasons in our church where we grieve and we hurt, and we've talked about some of that recently on the podcast. And then there's seasons where we celebrate and we get to just live out. We've said many times the last 2 weeks, being the hands and feet of Jesus. In fact, if you have not been at service, then you have missed out on the cowbells that we've had. And so every person in the service has had one of these. We've been ringing them in service. I won't ring it too much on here. It's fun to hear that in service. And everybody going, hey, we're the church. And the whole idea of the cowbell is, man, we're spurring each other on. The scripture says, if you're a follower of Jesus, we are to spur one another on towards good deeds, towards generosity. And so this cowbell has become a symbol of this Be Rich season, which really we teach on for 2 weeks. And then this 15th anniversary that we're coming up to this week and that big thing. So as we're in Be Rich season, like how many years do you think you've managed this for us?
So the first year for Community Christian doing Be Rich was 2017. So I think I was at Community for about 3 hours beforehand of the project.
And then this is you.
But it was a lot of fun. Yeah. So we did it for a couple of years. COVID, things got a little weird. So we did some serving projects, but we weren't officially doing Be Rich. Then we picked it back up in 2022 and built up some steam in 2023 and 2024. Last year, I think we were all blown away by just the response from people getting involved. And yeah, we were able to fund a lot of projects last year. So it was just the blessing that came from Community Christian through Be Rich was amazing last year. So it's just been a lot of fun. I think we get a really good response from people. And I think, our leadership, you and Justin, we do a great job at communicating to everybody what we're doing, where the funds are going, what we're going to serve, and who's going to be impacted by that. So I think people just get excited that we're doing that.
I think so. The first part of Be Rich, if you don't know, is a giving. We ask people to give beyond what they normally give to the church, to give a special gift. We ask everyone initially to give $39.95, but we say, hey, if you're able to give more, please do that. Some of you might not be able to do that at all. Just give a little bit. We want 100% participation. And then every dollar given specifically to Be Rich is given away. And we already have projects picked out. So you have a list there. I want people to hear, over the years that we've done this, what are some of the different needs that we've met or organizations we've worked with? What kind of categories?
Yeah, so I went and looked back from 2017, from the years that we've done this. Again, these are the categories of different ministries that we've impacted. So there's crisis intervention and residential support, homelessness and shelter services, hunger relief and food services, youth outreach and education, family support services, healthcare and medical support, global missions and international outreach, community development and infrastructure, substance abuse and recovery, technology platform development, and community events and outreach. So that's a substantial list of impact that community has made. So
it's big.
Really excited about that.
Yeah. And then all of the money goes to they're all nonprofits, right? And some of them are not Christian, we would say nonprofits. They're just nonprofits doing an amazing job meeting a need in our community. And then some of it to our missionaries who are doing work. But with the Be Rich projects, as we've done it, we've always been able to know exactly what the money would go to and help them get done. So explain to people a little of that process when you start going, what are we going to do this year? How does that work? Because you end up contacting a lot of our nonprofit partners.
Yeah, so we reach out and there's a bunch of questions that we ask them, like, how can we make a big impact? What are you not able to do now that if you are able to get funds with that you would be able to do? What are ministries or what are different projects that have kind of been on hold that you're waiting for funds? Those are some of the give projects. Like what would really move the needle for you? And just kind of to back up a little bit, one of the kind of the mantras of Be Rich is, there's only so much we can do. We do some things really well at community, but there's a lot of things that we just don't have the bandwidth to do that other people are crushing it at. So we get to partner up with them on the give side and the serve side, and we get to come along them and say, hey, you guys are smashing this area. How can we come along and bless what you're doing and just kind of throw some gas on the fire of what they're already doing? All right. Rewind me. Where were we? I just kind of went off on a tangent.
No, that was perfect. So he asked all these questions, gets back all this feedback, and we don't make any promises. We say, if we had the opportunity to give, like you said, what would help move the needle, push you forward in a way that you don't have the funds for? So he gets all that feedback, and then we start looking at the things that they list for us, and some of them are very specific. We're like, oh man, we can get behind that. That meets a need in the community. That obviously connected to the heart of God. So tell them about, over the years, like you said, you read that list, lots of different things in different areas. Tell them about we have a whole list of projects depending on how much money comes in, but we believe because of the generosity of people towards Be Rich at Community Christian that we can do at least the first 4 is our hope this year. So tell them a little bit about those and what's happening.
Sure. So I know if you've been at services, we've been talking about these for the last 2 weeks, but the first one is through our partner city team, which we've done some projects with them in the past. They do a lot of outreach in San Jose, the whole Bay Area. But this particular project this year is with the Heritage Home, and it is for pregnant ladies and also if they have a child up to 1 year old. But it's basically a residential place for them, so they are able to get off the street and go and get a place to stay. They can get
job training,
recovery training is part of that as well. But they have 2 shower stalls that these ladies are able to use, and they are just in really, really bad shape. So that's one of the projects is that we're going to be giving 2 new shower stalls for them to be able to use, so that when they get there, they can actually clean up and have some space to do that. The second project that we're doing is with Martha's Kitchen. They've been a big partner with us. We do Thursday night suppers every week that we've been doing as long as I've been here. And Martha's Kitchen is the one that we're partnered up with to provide the food. So there's already a really good relationship there. And we've done some really good partnerships with them as well, providing different equipment, stuff that they're needing. So they've got obviously a lot of things that they're doing. Just the general funds, but when equipment breaks in the kitchen or whatever, they're preparing, I think it's multi-millions of meals a year. They go out over the county, and you probably, if you take a look, you'll see their trucks driving around. You'll see them say Martha's Kitchen. I mean, they're bringing meals all over Santa Clara County. So they're doing a lot, right? But it takes the generosity of other groups and organizations to help make that go. Absolutely. So this year they're actually got a new facility that they're moving into, and one of the things that they want to do they've got lots of volunteers coming through, and they'll say they got lots of people coming through that they're feeding at their facility. So what they've been doing right now is bottles of water. So they want a refillable station so that they don't have to, have all the plastic bottles. So that's the second project that is already funded. Is going to be installing a refillable water station for those guys to use.
It's like an industrial setup that will last hopefully for years.
Right. So that's going to be a big thing for those guys. Then our third project is
Johnny and Friends.
Which
is really neat. Yeah. Justin Humphreys on staff has worked with Johnny and Friends. In fact, he just led a marriage retreat for couples who have children with special needs. And so we've been engaged with them, and they're doing some amazing work. So this is specific to, you were going to say, wheelchairs.
Yeah, it's Wheels of the World. So that's one of their sub-ministries that they do, where they have volunteers that go all over the world. I've actually, one of my old friends actually has done this for them. This is probably about 15, 20 years ago. But they train you. You do have to fly. You have to get your visas and passports, all that stuff. You get trained, and then you go over. And each volunteer will do, I don't know, I think it's up to like 30 to 40 different wheelchairs themselves. So we're actually providing 3 volunteers are going to get everything paid for them to go, all their flights, the training, the visa, all the paperwork that they got to do, so that they can go and they can help build these wheelchairs. So what they do is they custom fit wheelchairs. People are different sizes, different, everybody's a little bit different. So they want to have something, and they're going to be sitting in this wheelchair all day. So they want to be comfortable. So that's what this particular ministry does. So
yeah, which is amazing, right? They're going to go do the work, get the training like your friend did. And we're hoping at minimum that each person that goes, each of the 3 that we're able to send can do at least 25 wheelchairs. So we're hoping at a minimum 75 people custom fit. And again, we know what a big deal that makes, right? Because like you said, everybody's body is different. Where those rub points are, how their head's supported can, different things depending on how extensive that wheelchair needs to be for someone's use. It's so important. And it's the comfort that brings to somebody to have the proper fit wheelchair and have the equipment that they need. Big deal. And then the fourth one is we have a couple in our own church that serves in Cuba that's doing ministry. And I told the church a few weeks ago, I went to Cuba years ago, played baseball for a week and got to personally see some of the need and engage with the people. And so the power grid there is unreliable. We'll say that. So often they don't have power. And so for 3 churches, we want to provide all the solar and the solar power for them to get set up. So their power is reliable, which allows them, one, to do the ministry, but also be a place in the community that has reliable power, allows them to serve better and have connections and to present the gospel. And I'm excited about that. So, I mean, we have projects, right? For the local church, we have, in a sense, outreach beyond our county to those in wheelchairs. We have right in our own county, meeting the food need through the water project and meeting the needs of young moms who are at risk. So the variety and 5, 6, 7, 8, the other projects we have lined up bring another to meet a different need for people. And I'm hoping we'll be able to touch on some of those too. But if you haven't given, I just encourage you to give. Every dollar goes out. It's not for us at Community Christian. This is us loving on people. So really quick, tell them about the 2 projects that you really have lined up. And Jeremy on our staff helped you as well for them to serve on October 11th in the morning.
Yeah, so obviously giving is a piece of Be Rich, but serving is the second piece. And so for Morgan Hill, we partnered with the city of Morgan Hill. We got a great relationship with the city. So we asked them, hey, what is a project that we can do as a team in our Morgan Hill community that we can make an impact? So they gave us a couple of things. We're going to be at Community Park. The number one thing that they said is, we've got this pickleball is becoming a big deal everywhere, but Morgan Hill, they got some new courts down there. So they really want a shade area over that. They actually have a tournament coming up that next weekend. So we're going to be putting the shade up there for that.
Yeah, over the benches area. Correct?
Over the benches area, right. So as people are kind of on the sidelines. So that was their number one thing that they wanted done. So we're going to help them with that. Fidel in our group is going to be helping with that. He's got some experience. And Jeremy, of course, has been a big help. And then there's some other projects at the park. And, we've got some history doing some events at the park. But yeah, it's so we're going to be painting some picnic tables. There's going to be some areas where we can spread some mulch. Just cleaning the park up for the community here.
Yeah, and you can bring your young kids as long as you're with them, but there's going to be some very simple projects.
Right.
And then obviously some more detailed stuff that Fidel and that crew's going to do, and some of you might be asked to jump in on that morning. But basically, what is it, 8:30 to noon? We're going to be out there. Yeah. We want you to register, again, through the app or the website.
Yeah. So our page is ready. You can register now. Yeah, we're asking volunteers to start showing up around 8:30. 9 o'clock is when we're gonna hit it, but we don't want people to start showing up at 9 o'clock because that's when everybody's gonna spread and get busy. So we're gonna have a community Christian tent. It's gonna be at and I'm blanking on the area, but there's a specific area where we explain everything, where you can meet.
Yeah, when you come out there, you'll see our tent set up. Magical Bridge is the park there. You'll see it. It's right by the main parking lot there.
Yep.
And then we have one project also in San Jose near the Foxworthy campus that we're partnering with Beautiful Day, which we've done before, and that's being run through Westgate Church. And I love when we partner with other churches. And give a little update on that.
Yeah, so the Hilltop Manor, it's a residential senior living. So a lot of them are on fixed incomes. It's an older property, so it's been weathered and beaten up. So we're going to go provide some TLC and just kind of beautify that. So we're going to be doing some fence rebuilding. And again, there's going to be some mulching there as well. So there's some simpler projects. And again, both of these projects, and we love it when we see families coming together. So parents bringing their kids and they all get to serve together. Community groups come together.
Yeah, community groups hanging out doing this is cool.
There's different skill levels. So there'll be some projects for, some of you people who have some more skills in the area, especially the fence building and the shade project in Morgan Hill. But then there's going to be some projects where we just need people to help. And there's going to be
I have no skills in fence building, but I went on the Beautiful Day project last year at the Lana Club. and there were a couple guys directing it, and then they just needed us. They came along and said, hey, this is what we need you to do.
Right.
This is how you're going to line up the boards or help us. And they just directed the whole thing. I was able to jump in, and we helped build a fence that morning. It was great. It was fun to work with other people from Community Christian on that. So
same boat. Yeah, we got some skilled people out there.
Yeah, they'll take care of you. You just show up, bring your gloves, and we'll direct you. But hey, I am so grateful for what you've done in the years that we've done this and that we've picked it back up the last few years. It has been a very special season. I love that this year it's part of our 15th anniversary celebration to give of ourselves financially, to sacrifice a little bit there, and to give of our time, right? And sacrifice to go out and actually be in the community. And then this Sunday, 10 a.m. out in the park, Galvin Park, which is right next to the Morgan Hill campus. If you're wondering where that's at, right at the Morgan Hill campus. We're praying it's going to be a sweet time. We've got a great service plan for you, food afterwards, a picnic, hangout afterwards. So plan to stay a little bit. But again, our job, the church says, or Paul writes, it's to spur one another on. We're to be generous in good deeds, right? We're going to be generous in a sense in our time. And then the writer of Hebrews says, spur one another on. So that's what the cowbell's all about, cheering one another on. We'll have these out there for you Sunday. We'll give you one to take home as a reminder that God's been faithful the last 15 years, but we know he has more for us ahead. God bless you. We'll see you Sunday.